Hey guys, this is Stephen with the Guardian Group of Alabama, and as I promised, this new video will it certainly got me a little hot under the collar here, and I promise you, it probably will you too. So going right into it, the Southern Poverty Law Center. All right, everybody knows what they are. Exactly. Um, but they have come out with a new list of patriot extremist groups by the state. So everything in each, they've got it labeled in the state, and a lot of organizations on here. And I think a lot of you are going to be surprised to hear some of these names on here, and especially when I tell you what they actually are. If you're not familiar with a bunch of them, uh, the first one uh, that really hit, of course, there's like militia groups and stuff like this. It's all listed on here, but when it comes down to things like the John Birch Society, all right, the Oath Keepers, the 10th Amendment Center. Okay, people, this is getting pretty doggone serious because let me read from Wikipedia. You can look it up what the John Birch Society actually is. And it says the John Birch Society is an American political advocacy group that supports anti-communism, limited government, a constitutional republic, and personal freedom. All right. Basically, what a lot of people support. It says that their values are Christian principle, based on Christian principle, and they seek to limit the government powers, and they oppose wealth redistribution and economic interventionism. All right, it opposes collectivism, communism, socialism, fascism, all these kind of things. Okay, so this is basically a group that holds a lot of values that a lot of people hold. All right, but let's move on pretty quick on this because I got a lot of things, and again, none of my videos are scripted, so this is just stuff off the top of my head. So, and we'll go through a lot of it. Okay, so there was the John Birch Society. Another one, and this one in particular, this is what really sort of hit a sore spot with me, is they labeled the Oath Keepers. All right. Now let me explain to you, and I'm not reading this. This is just I have friends that are in the Oath Keepers, and let me explain to you a lot about what the Oath Keepers are. This group is made up of men and women. There's some civilians in there, but it's basically made up of men and women that are either military or law enforcement and things of that nature. Men and women that have taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and they take that oath very seriously. It goes beyond, if they're ex-military, whatever, that oath still stands. So, that's what the Oath Keepers are. So, the Southern Poverty Law Center has come out now and basically said that, the guys in the Oath Keepers are basically radical, and is a hate group. That's what it says right here. Yeah, it says it's hate groups. So you know, let me say a little bit about the Southern Poverty Law Center too. This is one of these organizations. They're so left leaning. If you don't agree with everything they say and stand for, and you don't have that liberal mindset, their tools are labeling you as a racist. That's a big one. If you belong to a group, labeling your group as a hate group, or all these other branding type names. And that's what they do, and they expect everybody just to go along with it then, because then once they label something like this, then of course all the liberals, they have something to go, well, the Southern Poverty Law Center said that was a hate group. There's no proof of any of that whatsoever, other than it. All these groups that are mentioned are men and women that believe in the Constitution, right? They believe in individual personal freedoms. They believe in personal responsibility. And yet somehow the Southern Poverty Law Center comes out and says these kind of people are, racist, a hate group. Where do you go with that? The Southern Poverty Law Center to me seems like a tool of the liberal agenda, that if you don't think and do like we say, we're going to claim that we're going to make these outrageous claims against you that you're going to have to defend, and it doesn't matter whether or not we've got any proof of it, because if that's it, we can make some stuff up. And nobody will check into that. So we're going to label you as a hate group. We're going to label you as racist. So basically, that's what this is. I posted the link to this list, and this isn't just Alabama. This is every state. So anybody that believes in the Constitution, that believes in personal freedoms and liberties, you've now been labeled as a racist. You're a hate group. You're a bigot. If you're not down with the, let me give all my money to somebody that just sits around in this nanny state and these liberal progressive ideas, God forbid, you believe in God, they can't stand that. If you believe in the Constitution, you believe in all this freedom stuff, that this country was founded on, the reason that we became a country and turned against England, the King of England, and basically said, no more. You will not tell us what to do any longer. The Southern Poverty Law Center has come out now and said, oh, you're a racist if you... my whole thing on this, really, is that the best you got? Just calling somebody a racist? If that's all you got, there's a lot to your argument that is just, how can I put this? It's crap. You're basically slinging shit and hoping that it sticks to something. So that's all you're doing. You're throwing names out there and hoping it sticks, and giving the liberals, your liberal buddies, some talking points there to say, well, they were labeled by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group, And of course, the liberals, hey, we never do anything bad. We believe in all that stuff. But, this is what you get here if you try to do the right thing. If you believe in God, believe in the Founding Fathers' ideas of freedom and what this country was founded on, now all of a sudden, those same ideas and that same belief system gets you labeled as some kind of terroristic threat or something. Believe me, I'm not a threat to anybody, other than those that would choose to harm me or my family. And then that's not necessarily a threat. That's called a God-given right to self-defense. So where they come up with these names and things, especially the guys that are in the Oath Keepers, we're talking military, we're talking law enforcement. That's what it is primarily based, or the group is. It's law enforcement. So you're saying now that uh, our law enforcement is part of hate groups? Really? You're saying our military men and women are, they're hate groups? Why don't we make a list? I'm going to make a list and say, you know, the SPLC is a bunch of idiots. They're the racist hate group, because anybody that can sit there and throw names around like that, simply because another group don't believe the way that that they tell you to believe, you better believe what we tell you to believe, or we're gonna label you as a terroristic threat and hate group and racist, and come on, that's fear mongering. So there's a little bit of my 2 cents there. So new list, the SPLC is a fearmonger hate group, composed of closet racist and freedom hating, liberty depriving individuals, that just want a bunch of robotic clones. So there you go, my 2 cents. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. Y'all have a great day.